Jones here with Hanksters Hot Rods here at our Homer City, Pennsylvania showroom. And today we've got another new addition to our inventory, a very nice 1968 Chevrolet Camaro SS style vehicle here. You can see on this car, very popular color with everybody, the Cortez Silver here, got the black stripes up over the hood as well as back on that trunk lid. Now our Cortez Silver, it's got just a nice amount of metal flake in it to make it really pop when it's out in the sun. So again, everything's nice, smooth, and shiny too in the car. So again, you don't have any dry spots or anything like that in the paint. As far as looking down the side of the car, as I always do, that's just to check out our body panel alignment from fender to door to quarter panel. And on this vehicle here, I can see that those are in very good alignment, basically. As I come back to the door, what I want to look at is our gaps here, as well as the elevation here. And our gaps front to back, as well as our elevations on both the front and the back of our door are really good. So again, panel fitment on this car, they did a real good job with that. Now our particular vehicle here, again, as I mentioned, it's SS styled vehicle. So it's got a lot of those SS styling cues that the SS would have had. Not sure, on a 68 it's kind of hard to tell. If you don't have the original numbers match motor and you don't have a build sheet for the car, really hard to really dig in and see if it was or was not a real SS. So we're just going to say it's styled after an SS here. So again, we've got the SS grill emblems on our car. We've got the SS rear fender emblems here on the car, both sides. And then around the back we've got the SS gas cap as well. Other items our car has, we've got the front air dam on the front end of the car. We've got the rear trunk spoiler, and then we have this steel 2-inch cowl induction hood here. And we do have the 350 emblems up on that cowl, which does signify what is under the hood on this car. Now, as far as any chrome or any bright work on the car, moldings and so forth, we do have wheel lip moldings on this car, both on front and back, both sides. All of our bright work around the windows is in excellent shape. The bright drip rail moldings too, up around the window here and the roof. Also, things I look for here is I'll look at our rain gutters here to make sure that I don't see any cracks or any chips or anything like that up in there. And on this car here, at least on this side, I do not see any of that. It's finished off real nice in those rain gutter areas. Now again, our Camaro here, sometimes you'll see them with the trim up along the top edge of the door here. This particular car does not have it. They've elected to leave those off and give it that nice clean look here. I'm going to open our door up here just so that we can take a peek on the inside here too. You can see our Cortez Silver makes its way into the interior of the car on the doors here as well. We've got the rubber bump stops on both the top and the bottom of our vehicle. And our weather stripping and seals around the door are all in great shape too. Door panels are in nice shape. They're anchored down with the proper screws. We've got the bucket seats inside, padded dash up front, factory dash by the way, black carpeting, all black vinyl interior. We'll talk more about the interior here in a little bit as we go inside. As we close our door, you can see it closes nice and easy, nice and flush too. Again, I've already kind of gone over those gaps, both front and rear on the car. As we come to the back here, we see our bright wheel lip moldings again. Now we do have some aftermarket wheels here on this car. We have 15-inch. These are American Racing torque thrust tube polished aluminum wheels. And as far as tires, we've got matching name brand front to rear here. We've got the Futura GLS Super Sport tires on here. Up front, our tire size is a 215/65 R15. And on the back, we've got 275/60 R15s back there. So they've gone up a little bit on the size on the back, just to give it a little bit more of a tougher look there, give it more of a aggressive stance to the car there as well. All right, now that we're around the backside of our 68 Camaro SS style vehicle here, we can take a look at, first we'll work up here at the windshield, or at the rear glass I should say. Our rear glass, first of all, our bright work around here, the trim, That's in excellent shape. They're shined up real nice, nice and straight too, nice and flat. No dents or dings in any of this trim work back here. The rear glass, it looks to be a slightly tinted glass back here. I don't see any chips out of the glass. So again, it's nice and smooth back here. As far as our panel fitment back here, we can see where our panel is right underneath the rear windshield here. And then of course where the two panels, where your quarter panel and that panel come in contact with one another. Normally this is an area where you'll see that there'll be some cracks happening here just where the two panels come together. On this particular vehicle though, I do not see any cracks. You can see that they have seam sealed things and they painted over and they look to be in good shape. So no cracks in either the clear or the actual color underneath. Looks real good. Again, I've mentioned those black stripes here on the rear deck lid. We've got that rear trunk spoiler. Again, it's in real nice condition here. Fitted up real nice. As far as back here on our tail panel, everything looks good here. Our tail lights themselves, the lenses, both your brake lights and your backup light lenses, those are in excellent shape. Again, your bezels around here, the black areas are all solid black, and the bright areas are polished up nice, and I do not see any pitting there at all. Of course, we have that SS gas cap here and a nicely chromed rear bumper. Our lower valance underneath looks to be in great shape too. Again, I mentioned that this car underneath is going to have a set of air shocks on it, and we do have those fill nozzles down here where you get to them really easy, so that you can air those up and give it, you know, the proper stance that you want. Let's go ahead and open up our trunk lid then. Take a look inside. First thing we notice is that same Cortez silver is on the bottom side of our trunk lid here. Again, it looks to be all cleared over, polished up, looks just as nice as the exterior of our car. As far as our weather stripping and our trunk seals here, that's all in great shape, all butted up here right in the center, nice and tight. No cracks, no chunks taken out of it. It's all good and solid, nice and soft too. So again, this should seal up real nice from the outside elements. Our trunk floor itself, solid, one-piece trunk floor. All the drain plugs are all in this, as they should be. And then it's coated in that correct trunk spatter paint, the black and the aqua color. That's what these would have had from the factory. So again, everything underneath here looks to be in good shape. Everything on the outside looks to be in good shape. One other thing, as we close it, you see it closes nice and easy. Our gaps the whole way around, both sides and around the back side there of our trunk lid, all very uniform, and our elevations with those quarter panels, trunk and quarter panels, all line up very good on this car. Alright, now that we're here over on the passenger side, we're just going to take a look at all the same things that we do over on the driver's side. So first I'm going to look down the side of the car. So going from quarter panel to door, up the front fender, I want to see if those are all in line with one another. And on this car, again, just like over on the driver's side, this car is very nicely done. Everything seems to line up very nicely on this car. Again, our side marker lights, the lens covers in those, and the bezels. These look to be new items on this car. So again, they're going to be shined up nice. Lenses are going to be all intact, no cracks or chips out of those. Very good condition. Again, I mentioned already all the bright work on the car, the wheel lip moldings, the drip rail moldings, all in great shape on this car. As a matter of fact, like I did on the other side, looking at our rain gutters here, I can tell you that those were finished off very nice. I don't see any cracks or any chips along that drip rail. So again, those are in great condition. We've already been through the tires and the wheels, so we don't need to go over those again. As far as our door gaps now on this side, you can check out the back side gap, and you can also look at the front side gap here, and you can see that those are very uniform on this car, again on the passenger side. So it's been fitted side to side, front to back, in and out. So again, everything looks to line up really good on this car. We've got both driver and passenger side mirrors on this car, all of which are all manually adjusted. but they're in great condition. No pitting on any of the finish of those. As I open up our passenger side door, again, door panels are in great shape. Seals on the inside of the door here all are in excellent shape too. Threshold plates, very nice on this car. Even our weather stripping that runs up along the inside edge here where our window would come up against, those are in excellent shape. I do not see any cracks or tears in any of that. Looks to be fairly new stuff there too. Again, I've already mentioned bucket seats, all black vinyl interior, which again, we will go over here in just a moment. As you close the door, you can see the door closes pretty easy there. Lines up real nice there, so again, you can tell that all the panel fitment is really good on this particular vehicle. Now again, we have the Camaro script emblem, the SS emblem here on the back side of the front fender. If we look right up here, again, that 2-inch steel cowl induction hood with the 350 emblems up here on the cowl. We move forward just a little bit now. Fender looks great. We've got our side marker light now for the front, which again, the lenses and the bezels all look good. No pitting, shined up real nice, and all intact. Okay, so finally now we made it to the front of the car. So we'll start down bottom, work our way right up on this. So of course, down below, to kind of give it the whole complete look, the kind of that D80 aero package that they had back in the day, we do have that black front air dam down there. Again, that is all solid one-piece plastic item down there. Usually you'll see these come in. They can be fragile, they can be cracked. This one, no cracks whatsoever. Looks to be in great condition on this car. As far as our bumper, again, nicely chromed front bumper. Grill area on this car too. Black where it should be black. The SS emblem right in the center there. We've got our parking lights up here. Those lenses are in good shape. The housings, everything, all in good shape. The headlights, again, traditional sealed beam headlights. You've got both the high and low beam lights all in one unit there. And again, your bezels for your headlights around here, the black area, those are in great shape too. Up on your header panel here, we've got the Camaro script emblem here also. Again, I've already mentioned we've got those black stripes here that go up over that hood there on the cowl. We've got the 350 emblems on the cowl. And again, this is a steel 2-inch cowl induction hood. Our gaps around the hood are very good on this particular vehicle. Our elevations compared to those front fenders look to be in great shape there too, and done up just right. So we're going to go ahead and open our hood now so we can take a look at the engine. So let's go ahead and get this open. So first thing first, the underside of the hood. Same Cortez silver as we see on the rest of the car there. It looks to be cleared over as well. It's nice and shiny underneath here. Don't see any dry areas. Now you see under here, we do not have the hood insulation. So again, they just elected not to do that on this particular vehicle. As far as the motor goes, this is a non-original 350 cubic inch motor here. We've got the chrome air cleaner. We've got a set of Chevrolet aluminum valve covers here. Breather and PCV valve both in those valve covers. Underneath the air cleaner, we've got an Edelbrock single feed carburetor. It is an electric choke on there, and this is a 600 CFM unit there. So again, it's going to supply you enough fuel and air for this 350 motor. We also have that carburetor sitting on an aluminum Edelbrock intake as well. So they've got that top end matched up pretty well in this car. Set of long tube headers on this vehicle to help it breathe a little better. Dual exhaust out the rear, of course tailpipes as they should be, which exit out between the leaf spring and the rear quarter panels. This particular car's got the stock style radiator in it. You can see it's got a nice chrome fan shroud in here, and as far as the fan blade goes, looks to be a 6-blade, it's a clutch fan in there. So again, what that clutch fan does is when you're up at speed, it's gonna not engage as hard. Whenever you slow down, it'll kick in and it'll spin so that you get that cooling effect on that motor. As far as other components here, we got, looks like some chrome pulleys in here to kind of help dress things up a little bit. Got a chrome alternator with the chrome bracket. We also have all the heater lines hooked up in here as well. Nice battery disconnect here so that if you're not running it very often and it's doing a lot of sitting around, you can always just flip the lever on that. That way there's no drain on the battery, no chance of it pulling down and not starting the car. We do have power brakes and power steering in this car. This was disc brakes up front, drums on the rear. Other than that, I think we're good. The actual ignition system on this car, it has been upgraded, so we don't have the regular point style ignition. We've got an HEI distributor back there. We also have a set of their AC Delco 8mm performance wires on this car, and they're strung up through a nice set of wire looms here too to keep them out of the way of your headers and keep them away from heat. So things have been done to it, like I said, carburetor and exhaust and ignition to really help it burn that fuel a lot better and get more air in, get more spark out. And then again with the headers, it's just going to help it breathe a lot better there too. So that's pretty much it under the hood here. All right, now that we're inside the comfort of our 68 Camaro here, we can take a look at this nice black vinyl interior here. Starting out at the door panels, we've got the full-length door panels anchored as they should be. They've got the correct, push-in buttons on the back side of the doors. Of course, you've got the screws along the bottom side. That's how these cars were put together. Armrests look to be in really good shape on this car. You don't see any cracks in those whatsoever. And all the bright work on those doors look to be in good shape too. Coming inside a little further now, our dash. This is the factory dash. It's got the padded dash here also. No cracks in this either. This looks to be in great shape. The paint on the dash looks to be great also. Now this does have just your factory instrumentation in it, which consists of the speedometer over there on the left-hand side, fuel gauge on the right-hand side. Now this particular vehicle, they did go ahead and add in some gauges here on the console. So they got themselves a little gauge pod for on here. Put some Stewart Warner gauges in here. Those are real good gauges. They look good in here. We've got the oil pressure, we've got water temperature, you've got voltmeter, and then also we have the vacuum gauge in there as well. Now the vacuum's not so much needed in here, but they went ahead and put it in so you can monitor that as well. Got factory heater controls in here. They did upgrade the sound system in here just a little bit. They put a Kenwood AM/FM CD player in here, and that does have a set of Kenwood 6x9 speakers back in the package tray of the car here. So again, you'll be able to listen to some tunes while you're out cruising around. Factory steering wheel here. It's got the SS steering wheel in it, complete with the SS button. We've got our bucket seats up front. All seat belts are present in this car, so you got your fronts and your rear seat belts. And then we have this factory automatic center console here. Again, this is a turbo 350 transmission, so you've got the correct shift indicator here, and you've got the horseshoe shifter in here also. As anything else in here, we've got the carpeting here. That looks to be in great shape. Probably new, fairly new at some point here recently. Looks great. There's no fading. I don't see any rips or tears in it. As I look up at the headliner, I see that it's in really good shape too. It's nice and tight. All the right bows are in it. Even back at the sail panels, the interior panels back here, sometimes you'll see those sagging a little bit. These are actually in really good shape, and they're nice and tight in here, so they look great. Even our sun visors, you put them down, they stay down. You put them up, they stay up. A lot of these old cars, they'll just, with little bumps or vibrations, you'll see them work down, but these fit nice and tight, so they're going to stay up for you whenever you want them up. Other than that, that's pretty much all we have on the interior here. All right, now that we've got our Cortez Silver 1968 Camaro up here on the lift, we can now go through the underside, point out to you exactly what we see underneath here, all the components and everything, and tell you, how things look under here. So, starting up front here, we're going to just mention that we do have that black front air dam up here on the very front of our car. Coming in just a little bit further here, I can tell you as far as suspension goes, we have all the stock components. we do have a front sway bar here, and it does look to have the upgraded sway bar end links with the urethane bushings on here, like the I think they like the Energy suspension, the red urethane bushings. So those are all in really good shape. Obviously, even the frame mount bushings up there are in great shape on this car as well. As far as the lower control arms and upper A arms, just factory stock stamped steel components. We do have, it looks like it's got new ball joints in it here. Looks like everything else has been maintained well. The steering, you've got your center drag link here, your tie rods. Again, those ball joints all look to be in good shape. They look to be maintained well with grease. And those little rubber dust boots are all intact on all of the ball joints. Now this car it has disc brakes up front. Just regular standard GM components, so you can go to any auto parts store if you need replacement parts for them, and you can get those right there. They're readily available for these cars. Other than that, suspension, steering, all look to be in great shape up front. Now we do have, for our drive line here, we've got small block Chevy. This is a 350 motor here, backed by a turbo 350 automatic transmission. They've got this nice chrome finned pan underneath here with the drain plug in it. We also have the flywheel cover here, also in chrome, to dress this up and to offer a little protection to that flywheel. All the transmission lines here all look to be in great shape. They look to be new also. Long tube headers, dual exhaust the whole way back, running into dual Flowmaster mufflers, and then of course out through tailpipes that are done correctly. They're mounted up over top of our rear end and run out between the leaf spring and the rear quarter panel of the car. Now we'll come back up here, take a look at our frame and some of our floors here. The subframe on this car, again, Camaro's not a full frame car, but the subframe looks to be in great condition. Nice and straight. You can tell that it's never been banged up underneath here. Even our body mount bushings here are still in good shape. They're not cracked out or dried out too bad. They look really good. Again, transmission cross member here, that looks great too. You can see how straight that is, so it's never been banged on anything. Again, the tail shaft of the transmission, our speedometer cable, that all looks good and looks to be leak free there. Drive shaft painted up black to blend in with the rest of the car, that looks good. The floors, these look great too. You can see that these probably have a little bit of undercoating on them, but everything's been sprayed black underneath here to make everything uniform. Does look like it has had a couple of patches. Just the front floors, looks like they've done both sides. They've done them very nice and neat though. They've cut everything else nice and square. They've used the correct floor pans, and then they've seam sealed everything so it's done correct. There's no holes anywhere in this floor. All correct metal, like I said. Just has a couple patches there, the front floors, and they were done correctly. So as we work our way back, you can see our pinch welds along the side here. Those are all in great shape on both sides, nice and straight. They're not banged up. Our brake lines are run nice and neat here. Looks to be fairly new tubing here for our brake lines. And then even our fuel line here too. That's run back here. It's even got the spiral wrapping around it to help prevent against any kinks in the lines. Now our Camaro right here, as we see it here, we do have the emergency brake all hooked up, so you got all the right connectors. You got your front cable, got your intermediate cable here, and your J-hook here mounted in the frame, all going back and tied in with your brake lines back here, going to your drum brakes on the rear of the car. To finish up our driveline, we've got GM 12-bolt rear end in this car. It is a posi unit. We are on the monoleaf rear suspension with this particular car, and to help out with that monoleaf, they did go ahead and add a set of air shocks here, which the nozzle for that is mounted right to the rear of the car, right down low, so it's hidden, but yet you can get to it really easily. As far as the fuel tank goes, stock fuel tank, that looks to be in very good shape. The fuel lines, like I said, all look great. mounting hardware, your straps, bolts, everything like that, that all looks good too on this particular car. I was trying to think, I believe there was one more thing I wanted to add, and yes, I just remembered it. That was the wheels and tires on this car. Now this car is sitting on 15-inch wheels, American Racing Torque Thrust 2 polished aluminum wheels, all four corners. And then as far as tires go, first off, they look to be all brand new. They're Futura GLS Super Sport tires. The front tires are 215/65 R15s. The back tires are 275/60 R15s. So a little bit of difference there in the back versus the front, only to give it a little bit of rake and make that stance look a little more aggressive, so to speak, on this particular car. So with that said, we're all done underneath this car. Before we get it down, I'll just leave you with our contact information. Obviously, as you know, if you follow us, you know you can contact us by way of email, phone, or text messaging now. You can also view us and all of our inventory on our company website at www.hanksters.com.